my name is Ifeoluwa and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create a video call app with Flutter using Zegocloud. What is Zegocloud? Zegocloud is a global communication service provider which provides powerful communication software development kits, SDKs, and APIs for your app development. That is, if you're trying to build or implement anything that has to do with chat messaging, video and voice calls, video conference, and even live streaming in your app, whether mobile or web, it is easy for you to integrate any of this using a platform or a solution like Zegocloud with a very developer-friendly environment. For you to get started, just head over to zegocloud.com. That is Zegocloud.com. For you to just get started, all you need to do is to create an account, and you can find so many information here on Zegocloud.com. Once you create an account, you have a console to yourself, an admin console where you can manage all your projects. And the plus of it is that anytime you create your account on Zegocloud, you get free 10,000 minutes, which is almost inexhaustible for an app that you're just trying to test out, or a product you're just trying to build. So whilst you're trying to build your project or test it out, you have free 10,000 minutes to test run everything without any restrictions. And it makes it easy for your integration and to be sure that yes, you can check different parts of every feature or product by Zegocloud, right? So I'm going to get started with what we're looking at today, which is the video call one, and then with Flutter. So I use VS Code, so I'm just going to get it started with my extension here. So Flutter, create a new project. I'm using the VS Code extension, that's why I can do that. So select where I want the project to be created. I'm just going to call this video Zego call. Right, I already created that, so to make it fast and easy. Right, so once your project is created, next thing to do is to check if your project is ready to run, or you launch your project. Right, so this is it. So I'm just going to confirm if that is launched. So let's get our hands dirty. Right, let's get dirty with codes. Yes, so our app is ready to run. So next is, it's important you follow the documentations, right? So I'm just going to show you a few things from the documentation. So we're going to be using the Zegocloud UI kit. The UI kit is kind of different from the SDK directly, because the SDK is, you have some customizable feature you want to achieve for yourself, and then you can then work with the codes provided, right? But with the pre-built UI kit, you have almost everything done for you, and you can just get started in less than 5 minutes, which I'm going to show you right away. So let's just head over to developers, go to UI kit. We're using Flutter, so I'm just going to scroll down and then find the one-on-one call. This is the one we're checking out today, and then select Flutter. Right, so we have this, what is called kit. What do you need to call kit for? So we're just going to do the one-on-one call today, right? So just open it up, and then it launches and tells us everything we need to get started with Zegocloud. So I'm just waiting for it to load up the scripts. Yeah. So first off, we're going to get this into our code. So we already have our project set up. So next is to go to your terminal and then install or add the dependency, the Zego UI pre-built call. So once you add that, yes. So he had so many of the Zego packages. You see Express Engine and the likes. So we have that. So if you go to your popspec.yml, you have this, right? You have this already in place, right? So that's that for that. And then the next thing is we begin to implement our page. So, right, I'm just going to import this. This is just to import the package on top of our project. But one thing I also did is to make this look nice. I'm just going to bring a boilerplate with a button click that we can just use to access that easily. So I'm just going to bring this in place. Not done the implementation, just a button click, yes, without anything yet. So what we want to achieve is when we click on this button, we want to initiate a call. So I'm going to go back to the script, and then yes, so this is the page we're going to be implementing to get the call. right? So I'm just going to lift this script. I mean, everything is very seamless and easy. So I'm just going to leave the script at the lower end of my page. I'm just going to do that. And then, yes, this is asking because I need to import it again, right? So after importing this, so next thing to do is, we don't have this here. To get your app ID and your app sign ID, you need to create a project on Zegocloud, right? So you go back to your console. These are some of my previous projects I've created. So click on create projects. I mean, so many options to choose from based on whatever you are trying to build. You have the video call, you have video conference, live streaming, audio. This will be tailored. I mean, the UIK will be tailored to whatever you want to build. So we're doing the voice and video call today. So just scroll down and then select the next. Yes. So next thing is, we give the name, say Zigo call test. Zigo call test. Right. And then, yes, we're doing Flutter, so you can just find the one that belongs to Flutter, right? It shows you just like the script we have copied here right now, just shows us this, and then you can just get started. I mean, because of time, I already created the project before, so I'll just launch it. And then that's the Zigo call one. So this is your app ID. Your app ID is just an integer. So when you go back to your script, just come here and paste your app ID. I'm just going to copy that again. Not sure why that didn't show. Yes, so that's just an integer. You only don't need this right now. That's just a check. And then next is your app sign ID. Your app sign is gotten also from your project once you launch it. So you have that, and then it's a string rather. Your app sign is a string, so just fill it in, and then you have this. So before we get started, or before we start clicking pages or starting to launch this, you need to also do some implementation, like to require to request permissions for your internet, for your cameras and likes. So those permissions are necessary. So you go back to the documentation, and then we begin to configure the project. So first, go to your Android files. So in your Android files, just open this, go to your build.gradle, and then first change your compiled SDK version to version 33. Yes, 33. And then scroll down, you're going to change your main SDK as well to 21. So scroll down your page and then do 21 for this main SDK, that is minimum SDK 21. After which you then do your manifest file. So we're going to edit the main.manifest file. So go to this, and then I'm just using the VS Code shortcut Command P, and then Android manifest, yes, main. The main one, please don't forget the main one. And then just before the application, I'm going to copy and paste all these permissions. These are important to interact with the native part of your devices, or the devices you are building for Flutter, right? To get, phone, record audio, internet, and access to so many things, right? So next is, after that, we're going to create a ProGrad file. So just copy this title, says in your project Android app. So just like where you have your Gradle file, just go back to your project and then come here, Android app, this folder, and then new file. So I'm just going to call it ProGradle.pro, right? So when the file is created, all you need to do is open up here and then copy this. This is to keep the class, the native class actually, because of what has been imported. So you just, there's little or nothing to do here. Just copy this, create this file, paste this code into it, and then go back to your build.gradle file and then paste the ProGradle itself. So go back to this place. So you scroll down to your release here, and then paste this ProGradle. Sorry, this is supposed to be P, yeah. And then next thing to do is, for your iOS, devices, you go to info.plist, right? And then you're just going to add the requirements. So I'm just going to copy this, camera usage and the likes, because we require camera. So these are just necessary stuff to use, because for you to use any of the device camera or device phone, microphone and the likes, you need to request permissions. And both iOS and Android makes it important or compulsory for you to request permissions before you're able to use them. So next is, I mean, all these are previously done, or like their default, so you shouldn't have a problem with any of this, but you can just check them by running your S code to confirm. But I mean, these are always set to be done. So having done this, I think we should be ready to launch our project or our app. So we're just going to now navigate to the core page. This is the core page we have created. We have added our app sign, and then we have also added our app ID. So for that to happen, we're then going to launch the core page when on button click. So on button click, we're just going to do a button, a navigator. Sorry, navigator dot of context. A normal push, just to push to that screen. Route, material page routes, and then builder will then be a context to another screen. Call page. Call page is the page we are launching that from. So you need an ID to identify the user you're trying to call. So just, or the user you're calling. So we just use, I mean, this would always come from your own API or from your different user data. So we'll just use one here, fair lower. I'm just going to use that and then close this. So it looks like I need one more bracket. Yeah. So I think that is done. So every other thing here you can customize to your user or your default, your specific custom details. Like here, I can just call my user Mr. Zego. User ID, sorry. This can be a key, whatever the key may be, AED and the likes, these keys, and then the name can be whatever. These are definitely going to be custom to you, and that would be all in terms of our configurations and the setup. So by now, once I click on this, I should have a call. Viola. Yeah, so I'm using a simulator, so I might not be able to see the camera because simulator doesn't have that. So we have this in place. You can see my buttons on video call because it's a pre-built UI. So you have all the functions, you have the video, camera, you have mic and speakers and all those things. And then you have the end call button. So once I click on the end call, that shuts everything. I hope you enjoyed the session and I hope you learned from it. Please subscribe, like, and share my video. Thank you. Cheers.